question that
It is.
I do not have the answer to.
Hold on, let's see. I'm gonna hit the intro real quick. What's up, Mystic Manifesting family? Nick here with the Queen of Manifesting, and I'm gonna try to do this in my most ghetto way possible because I didn't have a setup for this. But look at, I don't know if she's manifested this, but the Queen of Manifesting has been a part of Mystic Manifesting family for a long time, and I didn't know it till recently. She reached out to collab with me, and I've been working on TikTok lately. So she's on TikTok if you guys want. I'm on TikTok live right now, but you'll be able to hear our conversation, hopefully. And we're going over here. We're talking thought transmission. So, Divine Fempress, what's up? Okay, and now we go back to the question. This is the first time I'm turning more towards the TikTok side. But we're on TikTok, guys. So, if you want to kick off with the question, we're on thought transmission to the topic.
So the question that is being asked is, can you have transmission with someone who has passed?
Oh, like passed away?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I believe you can, because I kind of do that. That's like you create kind of an environment in a way. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's like 3D wise. It's like my environment is like my condo kind of has the vibes of my grandma's apartment. And it's like, okay. And then I just have the inner conversations with her. I would say not as much thought transmission because, and from my experience of talking to mediums and being friends with mediums, you're a friend with a medium. So it's like, you kind of know like what I've discovered in it. The mediums kind of go into the place of creation, like the manifesting stuff, and then they go there. So like there's a lot of similarities, but what I've noticed is, I've had the inner conversations with Neville, and like that's a whole another thing we could get into that. But it's like with my grandma too, and it's like, and you trust whatever you're going to say, and then you kind of intuitively know, and that's how you're getting the answer. And that's what I've understood from mediums, and I think that we're all psychic and medium to a degree. That's my point.
Yeah. I've been having dreams of my son's father who passed away about 8 years ago. The dreams feel so freaking real. Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that that could happen. And then there's also the near, like, Joe Myra said, you should really check the near-death experiences. Yeah, those things, I've been doing my research on near-death experiences because I have a strong, highly interest in parapsychology, which is, if those of you who do not know, parapsychology is basically the study of like psychokinesis. It's also the study of telekinesis, telepathy, near-death experiences, and consciousness and stuff like that. So when I do my research, I go into depth of all of that stuff. It is my little side obsession outside of the brain too.
Yeah.
But if you didn't also know this, Sigmund Freud also talks about thought transmission.
Yeah.
Except he does not, at the time when he wrote a paper on thought transmission and what it was, he didn't want anybody to know about it.
Okay, see, I didn't know that much about it, but I know a little bit about Freud, but not a ton.
Yeah, he's like, no, this is a bad idea. He felt like people were going to misuse it. So he's like, no. So that was his way of thinking at the time. And I was like, well, damn. Okay. It was good. It was a good read.
Yeah, and then I was thinking, I'm looking too. I'm watching both the chats. I moved you closer so I could watch them both. They're talking about Carl Jung. Courtney says Carl Jung was into all this as well. Yes, Bob. Yes, I usually do lives on Monday. This is me making it up because Bridge of Incidents I talked about on here ruined me from getting onto here. But guess what? It's working out in our favor because Bob, I don't ever see you on the Mondays usually commenting. So now you're here. So there's another way it worked out. What do you do to make SP go from no contact to obsessed and completely obsessed? Well, it's kind of like we could kind of coast off that question too if you want, unless you have one here, and then we'll go back to Bob. Because you're hosting. Well, I'm a guest right now on TikTok, guys, and I figured to incorporate you.
Yeah, that part, that is true. The like when you know someone knows the way that someone's going to say it before you even say it. That part is definitely true.
What are they saying?
As far as that question goes, do you really see? I don't. How can I put this? And please do not take this like, do not take this the wrong way. I think it's somewhere in the manifesting community, not everybody, but some. I think somewhere we forget we should be very wary and very careful with the words that we want to use when it comes to what we are manifesting. Do you actually really want someone to be obsessed with you?
Yeah,
like,
that's a good point.
I think it's that you want someone to be obsessed with you. You want somebody to be completely enamored by you. Like,
Yeah,
there's those of us who have experienced obsession, and it's not good. If you've watched movies
Yeah.
about obsession or whatever, like, it's usually not good. So get to the root of why you want that, but also look
Very
at
true.
examples of what healthy love looks like.
Yeah. Here's a point I would make on that as well, is because I've gone through that once where it was like, okay, there was a time where I was not with SP, and I decided, I'm like, okay, I'm going to manifest this person. Boom, boom, boom. I label out all this. Like, if you've seen the channel, like I do the thing, you list out a method of, oh, this is ideal specific person, right? So I list out the ideal specific person. That woman came in. It's like, okay, yeah, she's good looking. She's cool. She's funny. She's this, that. She was very obsessed. And obsession was the thing I was kind of thinking, like, oh, I wanted my SP to be like that. But then I realized, like you said, why do you want that? Then dealing with it through this, it's like, I have no life. I can't go out with my friends. You're calling me. You're blowing up my phone. You're doing this. You're doing that. It's like, and I only knew this woman for like 3 weeks. And it's like, and she is like all over me. And I'm like, this is annoying. It's making me mad. Like, it's a job. I don't like that. So like you said, be careful what you ask for. Like, it's careful what you wish for. You might get it. And like the obsession thing sucked. And it was like, I didn't like that. And I would also, the point I was going to add to it is like you said, why do you want it? And it's like, wanting someone to be obsessed with you, I believe to a degree, and Bob, don't take it the wrong way, or nobody else take this the wrong way, that wanting someone to be obsessed with you is because you're coming from a point of low self-concept. To feel good, you need someone to be worshiping you like a god, like, I really want you, I want you to do the best thing in the world, because you can't even feel confident enough in yourself to be like, no, I'm good with if I have this and if I don't have it. Not saying you won't get it, but it's like, when you accept that reality of like, okay, there's reality, I don't have it. There's reality where I do. I choose to be happy and loved no matter what, because really you're the one giving yourself the love the whole time.
Yeah, I think that's a perfect example. Like, I know when I would, for example, with my ex, that man would come on my block. Like, he didn't need to be on my block. He would take pictures of my car. Like, he would get off a train stop earlier than he was supposed to, and then ask me, he's like, he would be like, are you home? No.
Yeah.
Can you leave me alone? Like, stop.
Yeah, all of a sudden you lose your freedom. What's the consequence of someone being obsessed? You don't have a life no more.
Yeah, like, I don't want that no more. Like, what do you want? Like, leave me alone. No,
Yeah.
I don't want you.
Exactly.
It's too much.
That's why I say add more. That's why I say add more to your life than just SP, because everybody's like, once I get this SP, I can be happy. No, you have to be happy now. 2, you have to have other things going on, because you're going to be so up each other's asses. Even if they really love you and you really love them, you're going to get annoyed the fuck with that person, because it's like, even like in this thing of like, where me and Lily, it's like everything was manifested as perfect. It's like, there are times where I don't feel like hanging out and she don't feel like hanging out. And that's the nice part about when we don't live together. That's why I will not manifest that. I mean, there were some things coming up where I felt like, okay, we need to because of certain circumstances, but it's like, I really don't want this person. I don't really want that to happen. But it's like, if you care about someone, you're going to do it. But it's like, I like the space that we have. Because
it's that space that it definitely needs to get that person's space, which is something that I'm currently going through right now, is keeping a little bit of a distance between me and my SC right now, which is not easy, but it's something that I need to do, because I'm like, all right, why am I? It's a need to do, because I have to take a step back in the sense of I have to allow him the space and time that he needs to show up as the version of himself that I would like him to be for me.
Yeah, exactly. That was something too. That's like, because you're also long distance, right? Is your circumstance? Yeah. Well, circumstances don't matter, but that's something that you're dealing with.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I
So
also switched after our call, after our live last week. I also switched my affirmation tape to gratitude and a gratitude affirmation tape instead.
just like what we were talking about too. It's like people underestimate the gratitude, and that message has been coming up a lot this week, which was something I wanted to talk about in the Monday live if that was able to happen. But it's like then the gratitude has paid off so much more this week. It's actually on my list of videos to film after this. Like I've got a long list of stuff that I'm going to knock out for the week, which is how I work in mine. And then I'll just sit on TikTok while I'm bored. It's like 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute, and I just find 1 minute of me being coherent, which is hard to find, but it will be there. Like, and then that's where I'll get it from. That's
And then see, so that transmission came up, which you said you got a video on first day. Then gratitude and sensitive over here talking about Trippy. Okay, Trippy. I found a book called Trippy today.
damn.
So
Look at that.
right there.
All the synchronicities lining up. I'm like, I guarantee at the end of this, I should run in the other room and grab the list of videos I'm going to make and see how many of the topics have come up.
More than likely, then probably quite a few of them is going to come up because, quite a few of them are probably going to come up. I'm pretty sure of that.
Yeah, it's almost like the list method. Like, well, people call it the list method. I keep calling it that now because that's what everyone wants to call it. It was called mini manifestations when I learned it. We just write out all these little things that you're not really attached to, and then you experience them and like you put them down as if they already happened and think about them while you're writing them. Close the book, don't look at it again, and then while making a mystic video talk about, you know what, I manifested this thing. What else did I manifest? Oh, I did that. And it's like, wow, I didn't expect that.
Did not expect that. Like, there's been so many things that I feel like I would not expect to happen, but they end up happening, and it's like, oh wait, what?
Yeah.
Like, how did that happen? Like, why is that? Seeing their name and hearing their name every day. Synchronicity, yes.
Yeah. Everything's a sign if you make it a sign.
Like, I wholeheartedly think everything is like everything. You give everything meaning.
Exactly. Nothing has. I like that thing from Bashar where it's like nothing has any meaning to it until you give it a meaning. Which it's like, because I always use the example, something can be really horrible to you, but don't mean shit to somebody else. And then so it's really there's no meaning to it. It's just a meaning to that person and their interpretation of it, which kind of goes along with change the way you look at things and things you look at change.
That part. Oh, side note, guys, don't forget to keep double tapping on the live because the more you guys double tap the live and share the live, the more it pushes out the live on the For You page. So keep double tapping on the live so that more people can see.
We don't have that.
This amazing live. This does not apply for YouTube though.
No, it doesn't work for us over here. Let's see.
Only on TikTok. But yeah, you gotta give things a good meaning. Like I started doing that too, where I was like, okay, this just means I'm getting what I want. This just means I'm closer. This just means I'm this. This like I just started saying that everything is just serving me. I got that from Tiffany, Tiff
I don't know.
on her channel.
Oh, I don't know who that is.
Tiffany Grande.
Okay.
She's on YouTube, but she's also on here. But I got that from her, where she's like, everything serves me.
Yeah. That's a good, yeah, that's almost like that everything's working out in your favor. You can't fuck this up. You got this. All the, my favorite affirmations.
all the positive things. Like signs are like signs are what you make of them. But like signs are what you make of them. But at the same time, they're like, as much as I don't want to manifest signs, if you use signs to your advantage, like I know when I manifest certain things, if I see something that is a sign for what I'm manifesting, I'll be like, oh, yeah, that means I'm getting what I want, but I'll also use that as a time to say my affirmations really quickly, like out and about, like, so it helps. Yeah,
exactly. It's like, it's not that, I think the reason people get more signs and not the manifestation at times is because they look at it and like, there's part of them, whether it's on their core of their being or up front, that they just say that like, oh man, it's another sign. And like they're annoyed with the sign. So now you have to get what you're annoyed of because that caused an emotional reaction. The sign is supposed to make you feel calm. Like I'm thinking of this one particular time where I was out at this walking trail that me and SP used to walk together. And when I got into the filmmaking and stuff like that, this park was like something I used for all this stuff. I would go there to feel calm. I was having a panic attack. I was listening to Robert Zink back then, and I remember him saying the Hawks are like a sign of something, especially when they're out of season. And I don't even know what season they are. I just told myself they're out of season, and look, there's 3 of them. And I just sat down on the ground and I was just like taking deep breaths and relaxing. I'm like, wow, that means that SP is here. Wow, it feels really good to have SP with me. And like that was what the bird no longer means anything. A bird was just a symbol to trigger the mentality that you need to be in the end state, which otherwise it's just a bird. To everyone on the expressway nearby and in that park, they saw a bird. I went into my end scene.
Yeah, they don't like to everybody else. It's like, yeah, just a bird. To you, it has significant meaning, but it brought you to sit and dwell in your end scene, end state.
Yeah, that's what I would use. That if I'm using angel numbers, any of that other stuff, it's like to me they mean nothing until I give them a meaning, and it's like I'm not looking for them, but when I see them, okay, end scene, and then I sit in it or affirmation, or whatever, just enough to calm you down real quick.
Yeah, and I think when you do it like that, it makes the process. When you do it like that, it makes the process so much easier. You're so much more relaxed because you know then it's done. And you're
exactly.
not doing the affirmations or whatever technique that you're doing to like get something. You're doing it to remind yourself, but also to know that you already have it.
Yeah, that's a great point you're making too.
That you already have.
Yeah. It's a reminder that you already have it. I like that.
That's how I like to look at it. It's like you already have it. Like even if the 3D is like showing you like the opposite of what you get, it's like, oh well, I can't get like just because you're seeing the opposite doesn't mean that it can't change or that you're not going to get what you want.
Yeah, I always see that's where the "you can't fuck this up" affirmation comes in for me, and it's all working out in your favor, because whenever something happens, and I actually had somebody reach out to me today because they were checking in why I wasn't on live and they were worried about where I was on Monday. So because I also have my Snapchat linked, so like he sent me a message on Snapchat and he said that whenever and it made my day, because he goes, whenever something's happening in my life, he goes, I just keep thinking about "you can't fuck this up." And how is this working out in my favor, which is what I want to instill in people. When something bad happens, you say, how is this working out in my favor? I mean, it was like it was one of the things where like when me and my SP became official, like the night before, I didn't know if I wanted to be with her, and then she wanted to, and then not. And I would just say in that moment, we wound up getting in a fight. She goes, I'm going to walk out. And I was literally cool with it. I'm like, I'm cool. This has been a long journey. I don't really care. But then I'm like, how is this working out in my favor? We both only had 2 drinks. We both have a high tolerance. Why are we drunk right now? Why are the circumstances lining up this way? There should be no fight. This fight came out of nowhere. And then I'm like, how is this working out in my favor? This is probably going to lead to a relationship or something really good's going to come out of this. And that was my mentality. And then it turned around to like a passionate night and then being official. Like I was like, which was a manifestation that I had, but I wasn't sure about. And in that moment, I'm like, okay, what's rule number 1 of manifest? Like I'm talking to myself. So no matter what's going on the outside or how things are being destroyed on the outside, you go within and it's like, okay, how's this working out in my favor? And I'm doing all the techniques. And it's like, wouldn't it be wonderful if this led to this? You know what? What's the number 1 rule of manifesting? Know exactly what you want. Okay, I think I do want a relationship with this person. I decided it right there in an instant that, okay, this is definitely what I want, even though it's through a fight right now. Okay, and I start going through all, like, I just had a whole inner thing, and then next thing you know, we're in a passionate embrace, and then I'm like, oh, wait, we're official. Like, I was in my head the whole time this stuff in the 3D was blowing up.
See?
It's all happens in the mind first.
And we don't get to see, and then that goes to show you that proves to us that we also don't get to control the how or the when that something happens either.
Yeah, because that wouldn't have been my how if I had to choose. Like, but it makes it better. It makes the story better. It's almost like if we're the writer of the story, where's the excitement if we already know everything that's going to happen? That's where the bridges unfold in a weird way, because we need some kind of excitement to shake it up. We also need some kind of problems to make life interesting. And you would never know how great the best things are if you never experienced the worst. That's like this the way I look at those things.
Yeah, that part. And then to add to make this interesting. So Monday, I was like, I was going to go to this place. It's called Hudson Medical. It's where I would go to get my physical therapy.
Okay.
So I'm like, I'm gonna go to Hudson Medical, and that was the same day that we were supposed to go. That was the same day we were supposed to go live. So I'm sitting there, and I'm like, you know, I had a series of events. When I went to Hudson Medical, it turns out that Hudson Medical closed down their physical therapy part. I'm like, okay, how's this gonna work out?
Yeah.
What's gonna happen? I don't know how this is gonna happen, but okay, whatever. So then they refer me to another place. They tell me, oh, there's another place at the block that offers physical therapy. And I was like, all right, cool, whatever. I'll go there, go check them out. But they're like, oh, you can only go there if you have a referral. And I'm like, damn, I really need to start physical therapy, but I really don't. And now I gotta wait until Monday. I gotta wait until next Monday to get a referral. So I go to the place to try to, get squeezed in. They do an evaluation on me and everything. And so I'm like, I still can't see the physical therapist people. I still can't do this, but all right, I don't know how this is going to work out. And then today I realized that I have actually an appointment on Monday that I have to go to for my Botox for my migraines. Come to find out, I went there yesterday. Hey, I have an appointment on Monday. Can we switch it early to like today or something so that I could be seen? Like, is it possible? They literally rearranged the schedule to fit me in for today. And I went, took the referrals over to the thing. They gave me 3 referrals, even gave me a referral for occupational therapy for my neck and my shoulders because I have knots, like really bad knots in my neck and my shoulders. And they said that can be contributing to why I get migraines. So I'm like, all right, cool. They were able to see I got occupational therapy and therapy today. They did the stimulation stuff. They did heating pack. Like they did like the heating, like this heating thingy with vibration.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have got that at the other place.
Yeah. And that's how it's worked. Yeah. So it wound up working out in your favor. And sometimes like I feel like people don't appreciate those stories enough. Those stories excite me just as much, if not more, than the SP ones because it's instant and stuff that shows that you're always manifesting. Like I've had people in the past, and to each their own, but the truth of it is you're never not manifesting. So it's like, okay, just an inconvenience of being shuffled around in medical stuff. How is this working out in my favor? Worked out better than it could have ever worked out for you. And it's like that. To some people will be like, oh, well, that's not getting your ex back. No, that's even better because it's something on your day to day that now it's like, wow, this is something that's helping your health, your well-being, your mind, and giving you a great success story. So it's like right off the bat, you got a whole bunch of good things to it. And it's like, wow, that's amazing. Now, what does tomorrow hold? That's why it's like when people ask me about, oh, how do I manifest on a time crunch? One of the affirmations I always add to that list is I'm no more than 2 weeks away from a miracle, because your core being knows that, okay, I want this SP, I want this job, I want this certain thing, but no more than 2 weeks away from a miracle, you're going to start looking for miracles. And then in that, here's the method to why I do that. And in case you guys never knew over here, the reason I do that is you're looking for a miracle, and then every day you're going to find one, because whatever you look for, you will find. What we seek, we find. And then also, hi, what's up, guys? Sayana, John, Josh, what's up, guys? I'm being hosted as a guest by the Queen of Manifesting on TikTok. Give her a follow if you guys are on TikTok.
Yeah, so that's like the beauty. Like that definitely is the beauty of it. Like you don't. It makes it. That's why I love. Hey, Lily, I haven't seen you in like forever.
Oh, I thought you were talking about my SP. I'm like, she's here now.
Wait, your SP's name is Lily too?
Yeah. There's some synchronicity. Yep.
What do you know? So maybe that's like the beauty. Like that's the beauty of it, because you don't. It's like those little things, but it's still that premise. Like even with the first day of being in physical therapy and stuff, I feel better. I feel calmer. I feel relaxed. I feel good. I'm able to, I'm able to do random things and have this conversation. Like even with just being able to have this conversation is like a random thing, because you hit me up and we're like, oh, do you want to go live today? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
You feel healthy enough to do it. It was funny too. I woke up. Wait, I was early this morning, right when I messaged you. I'm like, you know what? Today's the day. I'm like, because yesterday I was so tired. I'm like, here's another thing too. I talk about following your passion. It's like I was so tired yesterday. It's like, you know, we're trained and conditioned. You got to grind, hustle, and if you got to put out a shitload of videos every day. Keep putting stuff out there. It's like, no, one, I need patience because when I used to do comedy, we would film like weeks worth of videos and I would post them all within 3 days because I was so excited and I wanted people to see them, and then the algorithm would fuck it up and I had the assumption it wasn't going to hit. But it's like I'm like, no, this is teaching me patience, lay back. And then at the same time though, it's like the main reason for it is if I don't feel passionate to make a video right now, then I'm just going to force myself to make shit. It's just going to be sitting there. Oh, this is something else I talked about. I'm looking around like thinking of something. It's like, I'm going to bring 100%, which is always what I stood for. If I'm not 100%, I won't take a client. If I'm not 100%, I won't go live. I won't do a video. So when you don't see me, it's usually either something has really come up or I'm not 100%, not because of anything negative. It's just because my mind isn't there. And I'm not going to talk about important information without my mind being there. And then in the long run, it's like, look, I wound up being more successful than I ever thought I would by just following those core principles and my passion of like, so last night I was really feeling like I got to do this. And it's like, what is my highest passion? I really need rest. I didn't go to the gym. I didn't come here and like my body was just telling me I'm tired. I'm like, okay, I'm going to listen and respect my body and myself. And I put myself as a priority, and then look at wound up today, finally getting this collab in and getting it on your channel. And now your channel's working again. And then boom, I kept thinking, I'm like, I owe Mystic, but it's like, it's going to be better. I'm like, I don't know why it's going to be better, but Bob, I don't remember seeing you in many of the lives, maybe a long time ago, but I'm usually good at everyone's name. Cyan, I haven't seen you in a minute for sure. John, you're always here. Josh, you're always here. Divine Fempress, I've not seen in a long time. Or Courtney, I haven't seen you in a long time. So it's like, boom, all that, everybody was able to make it now.
See, look at how that worked out.
Yeah.
Like, look how that worked out. It always works out better than you could ever imagine.
Exactly.
Literally. Every single time.
Your mind and your speech, and it's like just saying those things. It's like it's people that, oh, it's just saying something positive. No, but the more you say it, the more you believe it. It's an imprint now.
Literally, it is. And see, now I just got a sign. See, now I just got a synchronicity right over on this line because there's somebody with my SP's name on here. See,
oh,
see see what happened?
There you go.
He's thinking about me. See, he's thinking about me.
There you go. Because he's always thinking. Because he's always thinking about you. That's why. This is just the icing on the top.
See how that goes? See?
Yeah.
Just mind my own business, and then he sends his name on my line. Like what?
Yep.
Minding my own business. Just minding my business. Do you use inner conversations?
Oh, we were just talking about that a little bit. I do.
I mean, yes and no. I use them to an extent, and it depends. And I say that because it depends on who I'm having an inner conversation with, and it depends on my mood.
Yeah. I would say that. Yeah, it kind of goes with the flow. Like I always use my analogy of the bat utility belt. It's like certain things. It's like manifesting money. It's like I tried to do the visualizing for it and stuff like that, and I did have success visualizing it. But usually money's come well through affirmations, and I'm not an affirmation guy. It's like the SP thing. I've used every method, and that's all worked. But especially with a specific person, inner conversations help because it's like my affirmations turn into inner conversations, or inner conversations turn into affirmations, both of which, after doing them enough time, I only do them when I'm feeling anxious or needy, or if it naturally comes up. Like it's like I think about them, and it's like, oh man, even if it's like I have an inner conversation with a boss I used to have. It doesn't have to be a romantic person. I didn't like this guy. He was screwing me out of a position that I wasn't what I was supposed to get. And I pictured his wife having an inner conversation. My inner conversation was him and his wife talking about how he's screwing me over. Just like I call that the eavesdropping technique, but that's technically an inner conversation. Then I pictured him telling me about that. So I watched that scene play out again and again, so I felt better. And then I imagined, then it was just like, imagine how you would feel. Imagine how you would feel. And then I wound up going into another conversation with me and him, telling him how he screwed me over. And his wife told him that he shouldn't have done that, and blah, blah, blah. And then I run into him, and he's like, you know what? Yeah, this is wrong that I did that. So it's like that played out. So, but it felt natural. So whatever feels natural, it's like not so much I have to always do inner conversations to get it, or I have to affirm, or I have to do whatever. It's whatever comes your way and feels natural. It's like I call it the bat utility belt. So some things are going to work. And it's like you're manifesting utility belt. Oh, grappling hook. Okay. Affirmations. knockout gas, going to sleep with the end desire or whatever. It's like just whatever feels good in that moment. And it's like second nature. It's like when Batman's in action, what's he do? It's second nature. He grabs whatever he needs and does it. The Mystics grab whatever we need and we do what we got to do.
Basically, and then for me, it's like I've had an experience when it came to using inner conversations where you guys know and see that I have a thing for psychedelic research.
Yeah.
And that's another one of my whole things. I had an experience with taking cannabis, and the night before this said experience, my SP and me took a lot of gummies, and I was only had the intention of taking one or two, but he decided my ex-SP, not my new one.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, take more, and I was like, no, I'm good with the one or the one or the two. Took more than that, woke up still being high, and then we went to this like house because he had bought a house or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And we went to this house that needed to be like redone, and he was meeting with some contractor. And so I'm sitting downstairs and he's upstairs talking to the contractor. And I'm like, I want something to do, but I don't feel like going upstairs. But I really want something to do, but like I don't really want to go upstairs. And I'm like literally going back and forth in my head about going upstairs, about wanting something to do.
Yeah.
And even like 5 seconds later, hey, I got a job for you. What? Get out of my head, please. Like,
yeah.
Get out of my head. I was like, what are you doing? Get out of my head. He's like, I need you to take pictures of the house with your phone. And I'm like, okay. I'm gonna do it. But it was so weird. What are you doing? Out of my head. I was literally just contemplating about how I wanted to go upstairs.
An instant. What happened?
I don't know what just happened.
You lagged for a second, but it's got cutting out a little bit. If you're
I also just had a moment of another person calling me telepathy right there.
Oh, there you go.
Anyways, there's another telepathy moment right there for you guys.
Yeah.
But at that moment, I was just like, okay, this is so weird. Like, what is happening? Like, why are you doing this? I can't believe that, like, it was just so weird at that moment. And I felt, like, after that, I was like, I'm not doing this again. I'm not doing that again because it scared me. But now I'm just like, you know what? Now I see the value of it.
And the point of it was to show you everything's instant. Manifestation is instant. And sometimes, and I don't advocate this, but sometimes in those under the influence situations, it is a little bit easier to manifest or at least relax yourself into the state. It's a cheat code in a way, but do not follow my advice or ever say I told you that. I will say that I, when I was going through my stuff with SP and I was drinking heavily, and I wouldn't recommend it, but I took from Neville's thing and I was like, man, you know what? This is I'm like, it worked for him, so it'll work for me. Because when you listen to what Neville drank and some of his stuff, it's like, god damn. Like, he was, I don't drink much, and he was like, a couple martinis after dinner and this and that, and it's like, damn, Neville, like you could party. But it's like, I knew that he was good at manifesting, and he talked about it, so it was like, oh, you know what, I took it under those circumstances, but I don't recommend it like that. I do know I was a better gambler though when I was like that. It kind of removes the inhibition, but the point of it is that's a cheat code. The point of it is we want to get ourselves to this state without what do you call it? We want to get to that state without oh, thank you, Gary. Gary says that my me opening and closing the cigar cutter as a fidget spinner is very audible. Thank you, Gary. Did nobody hear any of that over here? What's that?
You froze for like a good second. You froze for like a good.
You're frozen now.
Second.
Oh, I just went on a whole speech too. I went on a whole speech.
Yeah, I know. Like, I'm like, you were on like such a good speech and tangent. And I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah, well, hey, that worked out for everything worked out for our favor because I'm like, I wonder if anyone's gonna notice this. I have the cigar cutter and I keep doing that with it. And Gary just sent me a message. If you guys don't know, he's my editor and my friend and former client. He's like, oh, it's very audible when you're doing that, and I keep doing it like as a fidget spinner. I play with stuff on the desk. I'll switch to this lighter to spin around, but he's like, I could hear it, and so it stopped me from my roll. And then you're like, hey. You're frozen. I'm like, oh, well, that's why that had to happen. So thank you, Gary, because that stopped me, and that was a synchronicity moment.
Synchronicity, see?
Because I don't even remember the tangent I was on. Somebody remind me. Oh, you're frozen again. You're frozen again. Hold on.
No.
Okay, let's see.
Love
you too, brother.
Hey, Dr. Spiritual.
Ink said Neville's drinking and you're gambling. Oh, yeah, I remember. Yeah. Neville's drinking and my gambling was what the topic was. Yeah, let's not preach that message as much. But the point is, sometimes when people smoke, my only experiences with smoking cannabis were because I wanted to keep making out with SP and she was smoking. So I was blow it in my mouth and I didn't even inhale. I used the cigar method and just puffed it out. But the drinking, yes, I felt like a better manifester at times with that, but it doesn't make you a better manifester. The point is, what drinking does, it removes your inhibitions and your fears and your anxieties. The point is, we want to mentally do that on our own. That was the point I was trying to make. Because now I can get myself into that state without that.
Yeah.
Whew.
Basically, I think even this is like relaxing. Like even this helps to get you into that state. Like just having like this conversation and whatnot. Like usually, like I have like this severe, like in the past, I've had this like pressure in the front of my forehead. And I'm like, I don't like this. Like I don't know where it comes from. It's just like a random pressure that randomly comes about. I don't know how to make it stop, but I can tell you one thing, I do not have it at any point in time today whatsoever.
Yeah.
I don't even have it right now. I'm so calm and collected, and I'm like, oh, yeah, that man, easy peasy.
Yeah.
Like, I can manifest him in my sleep, literally.
Exactly. And you're going to. That's what you do when you go to sleep. You manifest in your sleep. The most powerful time.
I literally have woken up from cat naps. I'm notorious for taking cat naps and taking these naps, and I will wake up with something that I needed.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. I'm notorious for cat naps too, where I wake up and the sun's down and I'm sweating, but usually the manifestation is after that. It's like it starts at 3 p.m. and goes till 9 p.m. But I wake up with whatever I desire. Sometimes when I'm very anxious, I'm just like, I trust myself and the manifesting ability so much that I'm going to go to, I force myself into meditation, which will force me into sleep. And it's like, I know that I can't deal with this right now. I can't do sats. I can't do anything right now. I'm so anxious. I just need to go to sleep. And there was a point when I was first learning to manifest SP that I don't recommend this either, but I depressed slept, but turned it into positive sleeping. And it's like, the more I sleep, the more closer I get to SP. So anything and everything is a tool in the science. So I'm like, the more I sleep, the closer we get. And she's thinking about me doing stuff, but what happened? She was living her life. My friends and family were living their lives. People were inviting me, and I was doing that. So my point is, live your life. This is the end all be all. I need this person, and then I can be happy. Now you can be happy right now. I don't care what anybody says. It took me a long time to learn that lesson, but you're going to regret if you don't do that.
No, that's true. You do have to essentially just live your life. If you're not living your life, it's like, what the heck? Like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Like, what do you do it? Like, okay, example, my SP, he works, I love some SP conversations. Of course, healthy conversations. We only do healthy conversations.
Yeah.
Like, example, like, if I'm sitting here, like, if I'm not living my life and I know that my SP he works a job, like, he goes to work as a manager from 9 to 5, and then he comes home, he's taking care of business and he's doing what he got to do. And then he comes on here and he's streaming for hours, playing his video games. Like, he's streaming right now.
Yeah.
Like, he gets on at this time and he goes on and streaming. But
Yeah.
what am I doing? I'm on here with you.
Exactly.
Instead of going and harassing him and lurking on his thing, I'm on here having these conversations. I'm on here living my life.
Yeah, that's the point I wanted to make, and you're making it perfectly. It's like, yeah, you live your life, because there was a time where it's like I couldn't do anything. If I went out with my friends to do something, it was because I'm trying to prove it, because I know SP's out right now. So I'm going to go out and do something because I have a life too. But really, I'm checking Snap. What is she doing now? What is she? So I'm not living it. I was just there. And it's like the important thing is you're here, you're engaged, and you're having fun and living your life while he's doing his thing. But because you trust so much in the process of like, oh, we're together, things are good, I'm not worried about that. And that's the point of breaking through. It's like if you were to get your manifestation instantly and have your SP, you didn't learn or grow anything, then you might still be with that person in a relationship, but then lurking on their thing and then forgetting who you are. So the process is, it's almost a way to force you to be yourself and love yourself before it begins. It's what I felt. Yeah.
And what I do is, if anybody else wants to take this little thing out of my book, what I've done is I've muted him.
She's actually still muted all this time later.
I have muted my SP. Like I don't know when he posts, so I muted his posts. I don't know when he's messaging. I have no idea when he's messaging me because he's restricted. He's in the restricted area.
Yeah.
I have him muted on Snapchat. I have him muted on Facebook. So I have no idea when he's messaging me. I don't know when he posts. I don't want to know when he posts. I would have to literally go to see. I don't see his stories. I don't see none of that. And the good thing, because I'm like, okay, in the past, what I did in the past, because I was triggered in the past,
yeah.
I blocked him.
Yeah.
In the past. I'm like, wait, why am I doing that? No, that's not helping. So instead of me blocking him, I've just restricted him, just muted him from the meeting so that I could film things.
Yeah. I mean,
there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. I mean, look, like my SP is my girlfriend, and I still, her stuff is still muted because of all that stuff, and I just never went back. I'm like, I don't need to be checking this shit anyway. And then as a result, she doesn't post anymore. But like, maybe I don't know if that's because I manifested it or not, but it's like she really don't post nothing. So it's like, oh, so it doesn't matter because I don't go check her page ever. So it's like, why are we going? Because what I always say, why are you checking the page? You're looking for something you don't want to see. So whatever you seek, you find. So it's like, and if you see posts and you're not mentally ready yet, you're walking into a trap. You're setting yourself up to, and then because you fear, that notification is not excitement. Deep down, it might feel like excitement, but deep down it's a fear. You get notified, hey, they posted something. I'm just going to go look real quick. What are you looking for? Like, she's my girlfriend. Why would I go to her page? Like, unless I'm looking for something I don't want to see.
There's absolutely no point. There's absolutely no reason to have to like go and check. Like there's no reason whatsoever to check.
Yeah.
What's the point of checking? Like, there's no point. And I think there's like a huge difference. Like, yeah, okay, I support him. Like everything that he does, but there's absolutely no point in checking the physical reality and the 3D. There's none whatsoever.
Yeah.
Like if it's not your manifestation, quit checking.
Yeah, exactly. It has nothing to do with it. When it's your manifestation, it's going to appear at the right time, and you're going to see it. You only need to, whatever is positive that you need to see, you will see it. Everything else, it's just garbage. It's just filtered out.
Yeah.
But let's see.
That whole thing.
We got
any questions on the YouTube end?
Yes, we had one. I don't know if he's still here. Bob, if you're still here, we got one that says, you get how do you get someone when you're in no contact? Now we kind of talked about that already. Do you want to take that one, or do you want me to?
I could talk about that. I'm fine with that. But to get somebody in no contact, you literally,
that's a good point.
One, you say, instead of saying that you're in no contact, embody the state of constantly being in no contact. Two, being in no contact is a blessing because it gives you the fresh, clean slate to literally create a brand new picture.
Yep.
So embrace the fact that you are in no contact.
Yep.
The way that's the way that I would see it.
Yep.
And four, work on self-concept.
Yeah, exactly.
That's actually number one.
That's number one, and it's like, because I always lead that conversation off with the one that you said too, is blocked as a blessing, because if you're the writer of your own story, then so it's perfect because if you're blocked or you're in no contact, first of all, cool. You don't see anything. If you see stuff, you're going to start. They post something and they're out. You're wondering what's going on. Why are they out? Is there a third party? Is there this? Is there that? Now you're spiraling to what if. If you see nothing, then only and you know, because if Nick did it, you can do it, right? So if you see something and you're going off the faith that, like, okay, Nick said that whatever happens in the background is really what's happening, you have no other choice but to do that, because what if I experienced, the people I've talked to experienced, whatever they were imagining predominantly happening in the background, that's what happened. And I mean, like I said, those conversations, how did these conversations get relayed back to me? And it's not you asking. Whenever you ask about them too, it's like, oh, did this happen in the background? Did this happen? It doesn't. They'll never answer it, but like naturally you'll get that answer, because whether it's SP or a boss, a friend, whatever, something you want to hear, and you say, hey, did you hear anything about this? No, I didn't. No. But then the next day or later on that day, there's this conversation, and then boom, 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 everything I wanted to hear. So blocked as a blessing is number one. Like Sheila said, focus on your self-concept is number two, because if you have a strong self-concept, it is very believable that you are going to get that desire. Why would you not get it if you are really a confident person who gets everything that they want? And what else? Yeah, I would say that basically it's self-concept, realizing blocked is a blessing, and not identifying with it. It's like, and then and like Ink said, don't deny your fears. Acknowledge you're not. Don't deny your fears, because you're still acknowledging that state of fear. Yeah, but. Yeah, and then like script for it and spend more time living in the end. So self-concept, realize it's a blessing. You write the story. When you write the story when you're nervous, and then the majority of the time you jump right to the end, because that's where you live. And that's the feeling that whatever that end state picture of affirmation or anything is, that is who you are. So that's the answer. Sorry, you were saying something down here on this end, because my end went dry. We're back.
What self-concept is, because I know Sensitive is in here, and I know she's still learning a lot, so she might not know what
gotcha.
Self-concept is. So what self-concept is self-concept is pretty much how you view the world. It's how you view everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally how you view relationships. It's how you view men. Or women.
Yeah.
Okay. It's how you view money. Your relationship to money. It's how you view society. It even goes as far as the earth and Mother Nature.
Yeah.
Like, it's anything. It's your relationship with anything and you.
That's why I'm
the simplified version of self-concept.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, because you're now the only person besides myself to ever explain it that way that I've heard. Is because, like I said, you have a self-concept with everything and everyone. In this dynamic between me and you, I have a self-concept in this this talking relationship right here. My self-concept exists there. If you would have came to me before I started affirming that I'm a respected coach, even though I've been around for a long time, I would have looked at the numbers that you got more followers than me, and I would feel like nervous to say anything. But it's like, okay, approaching where I am now, it's like, okay, my self-concept between me and you is like, okay, a peer, a fellow mystic manifester, then also knowing you've been part of the mystic manifesting for a long time. So it's like, okay, I see you as someone who I respect and work with, and a friend and an equal. But then it's like, when it comes to a specific person, you might not see yourself that way. You might have them up on a pedestal. So that's why you work your self-concept, because, I don't feel good enough because you're up here. And why are you up here? Because I want you, and I don't have you right now. So all of a sudden that just boosts them up. So now they're up there. You go to work, and instead of seeing your boss as just another human being, they might be they're your bully. They're someone who looks down on you. If you got a bad relationship with your parents, there's then you have your dynamic with them. You have a dynamic with everybody. And the self-concept is, like you said, your relationship or how you see yourself to that stuff, even the earth. So yeah, it's everyone and everything. So you're the only other person I've ever heard say that. So I wanted to appreciate your point right there.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. But it's true. Like, it literally is in everything that you do. Even social media.
Yeah, exactly.
Even social media. You even have a self-concept even with social media. So it's in literally everything. So don't think that there's not one area that's not exempt from it. But when you work on that stuff, like when you work on that self-concept, like yes, I've been actively working on my self-concept, but there is that little hump, that little part of me that was like, oh, I'm not good enough. Like I don't think I could do this. I don't think I should be reaching out to these content creators. I'm afraid that they're gonna say no. Like there was this small little voice in my head. Now I'm like, wait, I don't call myself the queen of manifesting for nothing on this damn app. What the heck? No.
Yeah.
We reach out to everybody and everyone like on here and seeing what happens and seeing what comes of it.
Yeah.
It's been nothing but blessings. It's been nothing but yeses because I don't hear the word no. I only hear the word yes because I'm allergic to the word no. And yes,
I like that. There you go.
Shirt. Actually, I already have it on the shirt, but that's besides the point.
You're like me. You got all these ideas for shirts and they're not on it yet. I was just thinking about those today.
I actually do have allergic to the word no on a shirt.
Oh, nice. I like that.
I do have it on a shirt. I just have to get the store up and running, but like, yeah, it's on a shirt.
Yeah.
And then it's funny because even in here, there's the Lisa who literally thought of instant thought transmission. She thought of Mila, and Mila came on here.
Yep.
She's not here anymore, but I bet you how much you want to make a bet because I'm thinking about her.
Yeah, she'll be right back up. Your thing's coming right back to the feed.
So it's that premise. Like the more that you work on that self-concept, the more easier things are. The more easier that you can get things that you want, and it happens quicker.
Yeah.
Is everything going to be instantaneously? Probably not. Do you want the relationship to be instantaneously? Outside, you probably don't want an instantaneous relationship. You want it. You want that relationship to take its time. It's the same way that when you have a pregnancy. Do you rush a pregnancy?
No, it's exactly. There you go. Like Neville said, everybody has its own appointment. Everything has its own appointed time. Horse, chicken, human, baby, whatever. Everything arrives in the pregnancy at its own time.
Yeah. So these are things that we got to take it into account, but we don't take these things into account. It's like we were so accustomed to this whole instant gratification thing that we don't think that, we think that everything can be instant, everything can be this way. But it's like, there are just some things that I really want to take my time and enjoy. Yeah, enjoy the process. Everything has to be instant gratification and instant manifestation. Yeah. There are some things that are meant to be a process, and that's perfectly fine.
Yeah. And I saw the question right there, and I immediately jumped right to my answer.
SP, we shouldn't continue with our relationship.
That one. It said, okay, so let me hit you with some motivation right here. And for YouTube, the question is, how about when SP says we shouldn't continue with our relationship? Okay, remember my story? People on YouTube know it, probably you know it, but it's like, I was told we can't do this anymore. I'm sorry, I don't want to see you anymore. It's been great, but blah, blah, blah. It's never going to work. Then I get blocked everywhere. Blocked is a blessing. And then I find out through the grapevine, after like manifesting balls to the wall for like 4 to 5 weeks or whatever, there's a third party. Then I somehow was seen on Facebook I wasn't blocked, and then posted that she loved this guy, and I never heard that. And then it's like all this stuff, and then it's like continuing balls to the wall, all this stuff. And where am I now? In the relationship with her now. That's where I am now. But it went through that ugly, horrible stuff, and then it's finally like when I was like I went. There's a whole story on it because I don't want to go into all the little details of what happened. But basically, long story short, I could throw I don't want all the methods out because I was throwing every method in the kitchen sink at it. Then I was like a detachment / giving up. Next thing you know, run into her friend at the gym. Her friend's like, you know what? She misses you. Everything I was thinking about. She keeps talking about this story, which we talked about, thought transmission. This one story that I picked out in my head that I was playing. It was her one friend that I only met one time on our first date, and I only been in her house one time. And she goes, we were having discussions at the kitchen table, and it's like, okay, cool. The kitchen table was the one thing I picked out in my mind with this specific friend. Everything that I wanted to happen happened, and it played out. And now here I'm in that relationship. So there is not one goddamn thing that is impossible to you. You are infinite being, and everything is possible.
Everything is literally possible. Anything is possible.
Yeah.
Literally, everything is literally possible. Everything. There's not one thing that is not possible.
Yeah.
Actually, not that. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Hold on, guys. Nick, can keep talking because I think
Okay.
I'm gonna do something. So
Okay, yeah, I'm reading. I'm like, hold on, I see something about frying chicken and stuff in here. What's then tell her welcome crying, the frying, not crying. Oh, wait, I saw. Oh, that's funny. Nick, remember when your first SP was ran through? It was icky. Yeah. Oh, that's I'm trying to remember the first. She might be thinking about the same one, probably.
probably.
I'm learning. I'm learning. Hold on.
That's why,
I'm learning that too because I got discouraged when I don't see the instant results. Oh yeah, you're learning when you don't see instant results. Yeah, so instant results. Well, that's the point. Is you're supposed to feel it and have the results instantly, um, in your own mind. Sorry, I'm trying to keep up with both the chat. I'm reading like both things as they're going through. I'm getting like cross-eyed. What's it go? Because I'm trying to think. I'm like, who is this person talking about? I'm like, I'm thinking maybe she's thinking about this SP that I had that I failed manifesting the first time. I'm thinking that that's who she's talking about. What do you call it? Yeah, so she's still learning, gets discouraged when she's not seeing instant results. Well, it's not supposed to be instant results. It's supposed to be everything appears. You're supposed to feel it instantly, but for it to fit into reality, there's a time delay, so it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hold on. I almost left the live. I'm trying to catch up on all these. Sorry, I hardly heard you replying that you said your SP came back to you. Yes, my SP came back. We're dating now. But that same one was like, oh, I don't want to be with you, whatever, left me for somebody else. And there was all this bullshit had happened throughout that relationship. Yeah, we're together now and in a relationship, despite we're not going to be there and blah, blah, blah.
Example to you guys is turn no contact around. Sorry, I missed that. If you guys said it.
Yeah, no, it's the color. I'm reading them both of them.
Thank you for the daily heart me, by the way. What examples? What did we give as an example?
What examples?
That was number one.
Oh yeah, self-concept, knowing exactly what you want. Why do you want it? How do you stand in that relationship? Blocked is a blessing. Nothing's impossible. Whatever you imagine on the outside happened. Thought transmission, inner conversations. Essentially, well, this is what I don't like about TikTok. They're going to lose this. They're going to lose the entire live unless we clip it up. But it's on the channel here, so you can watch it on. But you won't. You won't see Sheila though because I don't have.
We're not going to lose the live because I'm going to go back and I'm going to save it. And
oh, there you go.
I'm going to upload it to YouTube so y'all can go back to watch it.
Oh, that's a good idea. You upload the whole thing to YouTube. You're not sitting there clipping out all the little pieces. Ah, there you go.
I upload the whole thing to YouTube so that if you guys don't miss it, and then I make little individual clips. So y'all can go back to rewatching it. I know that I did my live with Yima and Toya, so you guys can go back and go watch those lives. Those are also already up on there. Lisa's live is up on there already. So this will probably be up there by Friday, give or take. So
I saved our one from last time, and it was like just sitting there trying to go through it. I'm like, how am I going to find 1 minute coherent things? And especially for myself, I'm like finding 1 minute because I go off on tangents. So like, it's very hard for me to find 1 minute.
You can upload the whole thing. Like, don't be afraid to upload the whole thing.
Oh well, I'll throw the whole thing on YouTube, no problem. But I'm saying like on here because like this maybe is a limiting belief, but it seems like any video over 1 minute is not doing well for me. Like that Neville one flopped on here. I paid for a promotion because I'm like I put work into that Neville edit, so I'm like I paid to promote that, but it flopped hard here and it flopped on Instagram, and I was like, man, I was proud of that one.
Yeah. So what I suggest for you to give you guys some social media tips and tools and resources. So when you're growing on here, what you want to do is that might be helpful. Is to instead of trying to focusing on the minute clips because you're not yet in the Creator Fund program, instead of focusing on those longer clips, focus on shorter clips. Like have fun with your content on TikTok because when you have more fun with the content on TikTok, it shows.
Yeah, that's why I was trying to do what you said. Like, Yeah, like you were saying, respond to some of the comments with videos. I'm like, oh yeah, you could do that. So I'm like, I'm gonna start trying to do that. But yeah, I'll probably upload another video today. But yeah, this is different. Different to get used to this platform versus YouTube. And hold on, we got a question. This is one of my favorite users. I don't know your actual name, but I love your name. It's Glizzy Gobbler. What's her what's her at so we can fully manifest? her at is the Queen of Manifesting. What is yours? Are you Queen of Manifesting on YouTube too? They're asking.
No, I'm Sheila J on YouTube.
She's I'm Sheila J on YouTube and the Queen of Manifesting on TikTok. That's great. It's funny. That name gets me every live stream. I was like, it always makes me laugh because I will have like there will be serious questions that I'm answering directed to the Glizzy Gobbler at times, and I love because it bridges my comedy and comedic sense with this too.
Yeah, that's a name, all right. Okay, that's a name, all right. I set that name to my bestie so she can hear it because that's definitely a name. And her spicy self would come be like, oh, okay. So top 10 names. Yeah, and it's funny because I knew that name because it was like from my old group of friends. We used to call the one dude the Glizzy Gobbler. I remember why. I'm picturing now. We were all very drunk at a party, and somebody put a hot dog that fell on the floor in his Corona, and he didn't know it. And he took it to the mouth. So he was the Glizzy Gobbler. That's where I knew that name. Yeah. You see, it's names like that get interesting comments. Yeah. Happening. Yeah. Am I surprised? No. Not surprised. Yeah, and it was like when everybody's drunk, it's like the funniest thing. It's like, and I remember like there is a picture where like all of us are laughing and like we're laughing so hard. It is a hot dog in a Corona bottle, and for so long it was so funny. It's like, and then the hot dog was launched into the street after that. That's hilarious. Yeah. There were some good times with that group of friends, but there was like I was a group I broke away from just because it was like I did not like the negative self-talk. We would go out to bars and it's like, oh, we can't get any girls. Why are we talking like this? It's like we go to the gym, we're all fat. What are we doing? What are we all doing here? Yeah. Like, guys, I don't know. I think that's also something that needs to be talked about. Stop gossiping. Yes. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah. Because it's like about other people, you're gossiping about yourself too. Yeah. Is that a Reverend Ike quote? I was gonna say I feel like that's something that he said. It's actually not a Reverend Ike quote. Actually, it's called this. I can't remember what it's called, but I do know I did a video on it on TikTok. But there's this thing where it's I learned about it in my consciousness class, where whatever you say about somebody else, odds are, if you're gossiping about this person or you did this thing, odds are you are essentially saying that about yourself. Yeah, because you're so focused on them, it's like backfiring. It becomes like a karma, I feel like, because you're talking about them so much, you're focused on it in the story and the story about them. In a way, you don't. It's your story now because you carry it with you to tell it to everybody, but it's just shit talking someone else. They kind of like, if you ever tell a story enough times, you kind of forget like the little aspects of who it is, where it is, and all that stuff. But you remember the story and the core of what the story means. That's you now, and you're carrying it, so you're going to get that shot onto you. Basically, and you have to be extremely careful. What should I do? Meanwhile, though, because we're not talking, what you should do is just focus on yourself. Oh wow, that was delayed. I didn't even get that to know. But that's what you should do. You focus on yourself. Yeah. Okay, you're not talking. It's an answer nobody wants to hear, though. It's to focus on yourself. It sucks, but if they come into your mind
That's when the manifesting techniques come in. What are the techniques? Like I said in all these videos, techniques are tools. You use those tools to feel better about yourself and feel good about the situation and put yourself how you would feel if things were good. And then in the meantime, live your life. Do not like you live your life no matter what's going on.
Basically. So it's like, yeah, you don't want to hear it, but it's the best thing that you possibly can do is focusing on yourself.
Yeah.
Heck, my SP even said that.
Yeah.
Okay, my SP even told me that last week when I was having a conversation with him. He was like, focus on yourself. Focus on your goals. Focus on bettering yourself. So Sean from Here Nor There, he said, like, he put this out there, and he gave this consensus. Your SPs are always going to tell you the answer in which you don't want to hear.
It's funny he said that. God damn, it's funny he said that because I said that too before. Like, that's why I think I would have a good conversation with him, because like you and him are literally like two of the creators I know that are almost on par with me. With like, I mean, there's other creators I respect that I've worked with before, but it's like recently in the recent times you guys have popped up because I seen him. It's funny. I seen him and you told me you're like, oh, I actually work with him and stuff like that. And when I first seen him pop on the scene before he blew up, he was like just starting to. I was like, this guy's gonna manifest a huge following really quick, and then he did. I'm like, he's got the presentation, and I'm like, I would love to work with this guy sometime. And then I forgot about him. Then he disappeared out of my feed. And then when I started identifying with, oh, I'm the guy who's like, who's going to be respected by other coaches and peers and stuff like that. And you know what? People are going to reach out to work with me. You reach out to work with me. Then you tell me you know Sean. And then it's like, and then you're like, oh, if you reach out, he'll probably, because you know him, you're like, he'll probably say yes. So I'm like, wow, that's crazy. And then it's like, because the stuff he was saying, I'm like, okay, there's not a lot of guys teaching this. Like, I was probably the end of the first wave of guys to come in teaching this stuff. Then I seen him and I'm like, okay, I align with this guy. He makes sense and stuff like that, like his presentation. And then next thing you know, it's just funny that I'm like, wow, he's saying the stuff I'm saying too. And like he presents it probably a little bit more clear and concise than me. I've got too much of my personality mixed into it. Like I have to like just do it the way I know how. But
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And she asked, how does focusing on myself make him come back?
Because then you feel worthy that you deserve him. You can't have something you feel like you don't deserve. The universe gives you whatever you want. If you want to be loved, you have to love yourself. If you don't love yourself, the world's a mirror. You're going to get treated the way you expect to be treated. You expect him to not want you. He has to not want you. That's universal law. That's spiritual law. That's the law of assumption. You assume he doesn't want you, so then boom. I know it sucks. All you have to do is walk in faith. If it's already lost, look at where you are now. Okay, if it's already lost and you don't have it, what do you have to lose by applying these techniques? You have nothing to lose but everything to gain, because at the very least they're going to make you feel better. And that's when I tried this. It was like I was trying, and the day went by, a week went by, 2 weeks went by, and at the very longest time, like if there's someone who I could tell you that I've done it 10 times, or not 10 times, I've done it 5 times, and it's like when you get the SP back, it's like I waited 10 weeks at one point, and I was ready to give up, but guess what? I still stayed in, and it worked. So how does focusing on yourself not make anything great? Everything is great when you focus on yourself, because you actually give yourself the love that you desire. Why do you want that person? You want that person because you want to feel loved. Well, you don't need them to feel loved. You need yourself to feel loved. You're the one who grants the permission. Why is it that that person's love is more important than another person's love? Why can't you just get any person, any specific person to come in and love you? And why does it just have to be that one? Because you're using that as a catalyst, as really a wake-up call to love yourself. There's my rant.
Finger snaps. Yeah, finger snaps. Literally. And to add on to that, it's like, okay, you can, your SP is your mirror.
Mm-hmm.
If your SP is your mirror, if they're who you're supposed to be with. Let me preface that, because a lot of times we want to manifest somebody that may not be good for us. And that was something that it took a lot for me to learn. I didn't understand that. I'm like, okay, yeah, I want this specific person. But is this good for me?
Yeah.
We don't take that, like we want what we want, but then that's where you have to decipher between your ego manifesting and your higher self manifesting. And sometimes we get that lost in the jumble, like we get that lost in the mix. And then as you're manifesting as you're manifesting and as you're working on your self concept and as you're elevating and as you're growing, you'll get to that place where a lot of us have, where it's like, do I even want them?
It's crazy too, because you'll manifest the person back, or you will manifest them the perfect SP or whatever, and you realize, wow, the whole journey of this was a self-love journey, which is what I keep saying. The whole thing was a self-love journey. And then when you get them, it's kind of like, I've been there. You have the person, and it's like, you feel like you've elevated so much, so you might not want it. And then, so you fear elevating, because then you won't want this one person. So you destroy yourself to not do it. So I do believe that, like, whatever decision you make is the right one, but I will not, like, when we go back to the coaching ethics, if there's an abusive thing, I will not coach you. I've turned those clients down. If it's like, I mean, I had one, and I get halfway through the session with the girl, and then she brings up the abuse. I'm like, well, how do you want to be with this person? And it was, surprisingly, because you don't ever hear about this, but it was the girl doing it and then using, like, coaching. I'm like, no, the session's over. I'll send you the money back. Like, I'm not going to, like, manifest, they teach you to be a bully. Like, and then have this, like, no, this is like, you don't know how to use this. It's good.
That part. Like, we forget that, and that's why I have that same philosophy. I will not help you if you are in one of those situations, because I have been through that. I've gone through it. I will not do it. Because I've seen it in my own life. Like, I literally, for 3 years, I spent manifesting somebody who was not good for me.
Yeah.
Okay? For 3 years, I put aside what I was feeling, what I knew actually really happened, to continue to manifest somebody who I knew was not good for me. My higher self knew it so much so that me and this person, I would manifest him back in. But every time I would manifest him back in, it would end the same. It would end that same toxic cycle, and I would always be like, "Why is this doing this? Why are we doing this? Like, why?"
Yeah.
And it would always bring up the same thing. Like, I know what you did to me. Like, it would bring up these, like, resurfacing memories and these resurfacing arguments, to the point where I got to a point where I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. This is not good.
Yeah.
And, like, but each time that I do it, just because I was going through that, I was still simultaneously still working on my self-concept.
Yep.
So then last year, when push came to shove, when it was that final toxic, like, oh, he just wants me to move on. 2 days later, my now SP popped up on my For You page.
Yeah. It was kind of like when I gave up the SP before this, that I was failing to manifest, then, and I just kind of made a promise to myself and God that I will focus only on myself from this moment forward, to recover from my injury that was caused from that other breakup. And then I went into the gym that day, and 20 minutes later, I met the current SP. Was been the whole journey of ups and downs. But I think we get addicted to the high of, like, they've come back, and it's like the law, the ego that, oh, I used the law to bring this thing into fruition. But it's a big thing that makes me, like, I don't like doing the SP coaching as much sometimes, because sometimes people don't give you all the information. It's like, are they hiding this bad information because they're trying to deny that reality and of something really horrible? But it's like, I mean, I've been through the thing where it's like, okay, you've been betrayed and then still chose to manifest the person back. So it's like, okay, that is a fucking painful one to go through. And the reason, why do these things come back? Why do we manifest these people back again, and then it ends the same way? I think even though you forgive, it's very hard to forget. Okay, you forgive and then you forget. There's still somewhere always going to be that trauma of underlying pain that you have to continuously fight, which is why I agree with your point about sometimes it is better to let go. But it's that I will never tell you, don't manifest this person and do manifest that person. I will tell you, do whatever you think is right, and I will tell you everything is possible, because I've lived it and experienced that. But then being on the other side, having the person is not the end all be all. And why did you really manifest it? I feel happier at the end of the day, not because I have the specific person, but because I am the specific person that I would have wanted to be when I was younger.
Yeah.
The hero that I wished I had when I was a kid, that's who I became. So, but it took this journey to do it.
Yeah, it's always the journey. And like the way that because of my background and because of the things that I have experienced and because of what I learned in school, that's what does set me apart from everyone else, because I'm not looking at it with the obsession lens. I'm not looking at it from the toxic lens. I'm looking at it of, oh, I went through this, but I've gone through school for the holistic psychology. I understand the trauma side. I understand this. So when I'm looking at the manifesting and bridging the gap between psychology and spirituality and the science part, I'm looking at it from, I want to help you, but I want to help you in a healthy way, not in a toxic way.
Yeah.
That's why it's like, and then when you have the trauma part, if you guys want, or you should, I highly recommend it. Read The Body Keeps the Score. Very, very good. It is an extremely good read. And it also piggybacks on this topic this little paper that I had to read for school that I'm going to do a couple of videos on, which is called Repatterning the Body's Cellular Memory. And it talks about emotions and what emotions are. The one part of it says, our bodies are energy. Emotions are a form of energy in motion. Emotion.
Yeah.
So when emotions are understood as an energetic force pumping throughout our system, the psychosomatic or mind-body effects of trauma become much clearer and recognizable to even the lay person. And so that's like a really good preface. But then when you pair that with the understanding and reading the Body Keeps the Score, then you start to understand how trauma affects your body, but also affects your mind.
Yeah.
That's why doing the somatic exercises to release your trauma from out of your body, and doing the physical therapy and doing this, like all these like things that you do in the physical to help heal your body will also simultaneously heal your subconscious.
Yeah, the breathing exercise, meditation, stretching, running, working out. You said massages, physical therapy, all that different stuff. It's like, that's why I talk about the mind-body connection too, where I bridged a little bit of fitness in there, because the lessons I've learned in manifesting correlated with the lessons I learned growing up in the gym and playing sports. I was like, wow, these lessons are synonymous. They work together. And right there, like you even said, it's like even like the psychologists, they had the Olympians practicing their events without, they were practicing their events without practicing them, just in their minds, and they would still perform better. Not as good as the guys who actually practice, but still, why would there be an improvement if you physically did nothing, if there was no connection?
Yeah. So there's always that connection.
Yeah.
Always.
I've got over here in the comments, this is making me laugh. And I had to look away when I was trying to listen to your point, and I glanced over and I saw this going on. So let's give a shout out to Glizzy Gobbler and Manifesting Mandrill. He says, "Hi, Glizzy Gobbler." And Gary, I know we talked about this. I'm not going to read the chats, but this one is worthy of it. He said, "Hi, Mr. MM. GG, was that you sucking down Coronas with the Glizzy straw?" He says, "It's a sprint." He goes, "It's not a sprint, it's a marathon." That line took me out when I glanced over and I saw that while you were talking. I was like, oh, that got me. So, and Adro, welcome in. And Gary, we aren't manifesting that person to come in as, aren't we manifesting that person to come in as who we want them to be? Yes, Gary, I do agree with that too. We will manifest in the exact version that we want. But it's also like there is a point too. It's like, how much effort does a person want to put in? For me, I did put that effort in and it has paid off. But for other people, like in certain situations, if they don't want to and they want to manifest someone new, I think that's the right choice. Everything is all individually based. So that's why I will agree with the point of like, oh, I want to drop this person because I don't feel happy with them anymore. Because at the same time, you've elevated. And there are times where it's like, I don't want to be in that relationship either, where there's stuff now where it's like, if I'm unhappy with it, I'm not manifesting a change of answer or whatever like that. Like, that's just that person and the personality. And like, for the most part, it's what I want. So I will I'm not going like every little detail, because I'm not sitting there trying to change the person and change my reality like that. I go general on the relationship's great. Everything works out. And that's the point where I am. But if you don't want to have to sit there and like nitpick each little thing of like what you want in the relationship for that person to come back, you could also just script out, like I said, the perfect SP, like how we do, and then they come in. But yeah, anyway, I just wanted to look at the chat because Manifesting Mandrill and Glizzy Gobbler got me right there.
That was funny.
Yeah. And the Pirate King says, oh no, the Guildsman Pirate says, you're the king of my world. Well, thank you, sir. I actually know him. I grew up with him. Thank you, sir. We were going to play some slots later. What's that?
Look at that.
He's always in here supporting. Yeah. He's the one who sends me donation stuff. I'm like, take the money back. Don't send me that. And then he's always like, there you go. Well, then I'll have to hit you back at the casino. You're going to get paid back.
Yes, I will definitely send you that book.
What's that? Oh man, mine is like really delayed. Like you're reading it and seeing it, and then as soon as you're done and I say, "What'd you read?" It pops up.
Yeah, she's asking me if I can send her the book. Yeah, I will definitely send you the title of the book. It is a very good book. It is very sciencey. To forewarn you, it is very sciencey, but it's definitely worth the read. You will definitely learn a lot from that book. There's also The Myth of Normal. That is also a very an amazing read, but it is like this thick, but a good read. There's The Art of Possibility. That one's a very that's a quick read. That's going to be a 1, 2, 3 read. There's Psychosynthesis. There's no specific book on psychosynthesis, but psychosynthesis, what that is, it's basically it's the opposite of psychoanalysis. Psychosynthesis, where it takes all of the parts of you and you integrate it, and you learn how to disidentify with the version of you that you are not.
Yeah. This is interesting. I would right now I'm reading 10 books. It's but I'm not reading them. I listen to audiobooks, so it's in traffic or at work. That's the reason I do like having a day job still, especially one where nothing's really going on. I just sit there and I listen to audiobooks again and again, and I spend it as a learning time. And I have a manifestation to fulfill tonight, I guess. I just need you to manifest me getting some strange tonight. I've been trying to manifest this for days now. That's the pirate. So at the casino, sir, I will be your wingman. I will provide all of the mysticism for you.
I'm done.
I love my chat, how wild it gets.
Random, but it's oh wait, I'm not expecting it. But then again, your community is also a reflection of you.
It is my mirror because it's something where it never stays. Why'd you send me money again? What's it called? It's a reflection of me. It says, use this on 12 spins of very cherry. You make me want to be a better man. Well, thank you, pirate. He sent me $5. That's the 80-cent spins. So I'm going to actually make a video out of that then. We will take the $5 and do that. We're getting riled up here and ready to manifest Glizzy Gobbler. Thank you, Glizzy Gobbler. No, I love this because this is a group of people I would hang out with. That's why I want to meet everybody because my chat is wild like me, where it's just when you see it's there's a room full of costumes over here for comedy. You watch the channel, it's I bring out a Thanos glove in the middle of a manifesting conversation.
I really want to get my hand on the Thanos glove now.
Oh, you need to.
It's okay because I cosplay. So.
Oh yeah, you do. I forgot. You just gave me an idea. Halloween mystic manifesting. I paint myself purple and come out with the Thanos glove. Shirtless Thanos with the glove and a bald cap. This is.
You know what? Yeah, I'm here for it. And I'll be Scarlet Witch.
Yes. I love it. I think that would be actually a good one because you're actually a cosplayer. My go-to costume was always Indiana Jones. So either Indiana Jones, I think there's a mobster costume in there, the cockroach costume, but that's a Flex Entertainment trademark character. The Knights. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff I could bring up. We should be doing Halloween manifesting live streams. Was that?
It's just so much fun. Sensitive has to hop off, but I appreciate her for being here and staying on for as long as she has.
Yeah, I appreciate you. Yeah, she's been here the whole time.
She's literally been here the entire time. So shout outs to her.
Yeah. And with that, maybe we'll be jumping off soon too. But if you want, we could go live again tomorrow. I would be down. I don't know how often you go live, but I'm trying to do it more on TikTok. You do it every day?
I'm not gonna lie though, I am getting a little hungry.
Yeah, no, I was like, I know I'm getting hungry again because it's almost time for another meal, then the gym, and then I got to come back here and film like 7 videos. Plus, I promised the pirate that I would meet him at a casino when he gets off work. So then still get 3 hours of sleep before work.
That's fine. But this was a good live.
It was. I enjoyed it.
Amazing live, and I'll be like I said, I'll be uploading the replay on to YouTube and stuff. So.
And sounds good. Send me a DM with your link to your YouTube so I could share it over to them too. Because usually YouTube just seems to stay in YouTube and TikTok seems to stay in TikTok. So I'll share it out to both of them. But appreciate you having me on your show today and being a part of Mystic Manifesting. So
I'm happy to be here.
Well, we're happy to have you here too, and happy you've been around for. If you guys didn't know, because there's more people here now, like this has actually been a very watched episode. like there's 7 people here now. The Queen of Manifesting has been a member of Mystic Manifesting family since the very beginning, but I just didn't know until last time we went live. So appreciate her, appreciate all you guys, appreciate everyone from the Queen of Manifesting page who watched. So you go get some food, and I've got a long night.
Yeah.
So,
Bye.
bye. Thanks for having me. Bye. How do I log off? I think we hung up. Well, and then there was 8, 7. Then there was 7. Glizzy Gobbler. We're getting riled up. Manifesting meetup. That is one of the plans. A manifesting meetup sounds intriguing. That is a plan, guys. That is actually something that I want to do. It's like I want to call it the Manifestation Project. You know, if the spiders haven't crawled into this fake pipe so far, it was going to be like the Manhattan Project, except with a lot less explosions. And then I will be the Oppenheimer of manifesting. And we all meet up and have drinks and gamble and travel and just have a good time. Everybody wears suits, even the ladies. It's a tribute to Neville. But yeah, no, it's supposed to be like at a convention center. It's like a Comic-Con for mystics. That's my plan. And it's funny because, like I said, I was manifesting that somebody would reach out to me or that all these other coaches respect me. And she works with that Here Nor There guy a lot, and his name is Sean. I didn't even know his name, but so she told me. But I knew who Here Nor There was. She's like, oh, he knows who you are. And then there was another big creator that I talked to who wants to come on live. I tell you guys everything anyway. I was talking to Joseph Rodriguez. I reached out to him, and we all know he's one of the biggest creators on here, and I appreciate him and his content. But I had reached out to him and forgot about it. And then I worked on like, setting up this TikTok, how to make it like a business thing. I've been putting more effort into the Discord, and more people signed up, and I brought on all the former clients and stuff like that. So I built up a little bit of a community there. I'm like, if I'm a professional, that's what I do. Those are my 3D actions. It wasn't forcing anything to get anything. It's just like, if I'm already this person, what would I do? I set it up. Boom, Joseph Rodriguez gets back. He's not doing any collabs right now, but he wants to in the future with us. So he said he likes the videos and thinks they're wonderful. So I appreciate him. So Joseph, if you're watching, appreciate you. Thank you. Sheila from the Queen of Manifesting, who we were just talking to, appreciate her a lot. I'll share her link out with you guys on here. Follow her on TikTok or there. And that would have been someone who I was intimidated by if I didn't switch my mind, because she's got like 18,000 followers on TikTok. And we got about the same amount that we got in here, which is about 1,400 roughly, more give than take. And then she knew that guy Sean, so I'm like, this is crazy. But will we be smoking cigars? Of course, Mandrill, we have to. That's also a manifesting mandate. Gary's here for it too. Say less, I'm down to gobble some cigar. I love it. We'll all be gobbling cigars and putting hot dogs in our Corona bottles, or we'll use them to mix our rum and cokes. Those are I've trademarked literally just all my personality traits from my drinking of Coronas and rum and cokes to my love of the C4 pre-workout and the gym, and my addiction to cigars has all become my qualities and who I am. Reach out to Amy Westmoreland from Illuminating Joy, Nick. I'll have to look at who she is because I mean, Josh, if you're a fan and you know her, then she's probably pretty good. I'm picky with who I work with. I will almost then collab with the Queen of Manifesting because I'm like, oh, who is this? But then she told me her name is Sheila. I'm like, I don't know what kind of ability I have. I'm not good at math. I'm not good at memorizing movie lines and stand-up comedy, which is why I've struggled in the past with those other endeavors in life. Maybe I shouldn't affirm this, but I'm not particularly good with memorizing certain things. But I have a fucking photographic memory and a half when it comes to names and usernames in the fucking live streams. I don't know why. Like, if you guys join and use the same usernames everywhere, I pretty much can remember you and your stories. Comic-Con Mystics, night. Great stream as always. Well, thank you, John. Hey, Macho Manifesting Muscle Man. What's up, Pug Life? It's been a minute. Glad to see you back in. See, look, there's a reason I do it on the wrong day. I had to leave before I saw the answer. But what do you recommend to get out of no contact? Oh, damn, Bob, you weren't even here for that. Damn, we gave a whole in-depth answer. Let me give you a short breakdown. One, being blocked is a blessing because you write the story. Whatever you believe is happening in the background is what's happening in the background. Number two, self-concept needs to be the most important thing. If you feel love for yourself and you feel like you deserve that you're going to get whatever you want, you will have it because the world is a mirror. It will reflect and that person and your self-concept with that person, because we have a self-concept with ourselves, the world, and everyone in it. Your self-concept with that person needs to raise, and you don't need to have physical interaction or talking with them to have it. You can raise that through your mental interactions with them, where you're just having and feeling those conversations. So being in no contact is actually a better thing. Number 3 or 4, whatever number I'm on now, wherever my hand is now, the next thing you want to do, live your life. Don't sleep your life away. Don't get depressed. Don't go on, because why? I'm not going to bullshit you. It's going to hurt. It's going to come up. It's going to hit you. But you're going to say, no, I'm going to get up. I'm going to live my life. What's something you've always wanted to do? Go after a dream or a goal. Make sure you spend time with friends and family. Don't forget about them. Go on and live your life, trusting that it would happen. Because guess what? You're in that relationship. Why do you want that relationship? You want that relationship so you can feel a certain way about yourself. And the truth is, you give that to yourself. You're actually only giving that person permission to make you feel that way when you're in that relationship. But if you're in a relationship, look at, I'm in a relationship. She had to work. I had to work. I still have to go to the gym. She went to the gym already. She ran her errands. She's at home. I'm doing what I have to do now with this channel and being myself and being the mystic. And the only reason I'm thinking about her right now is because I'm using her as an example. After this, I'm going to go make some videos. I'm probably going to go gamble with the pirate. And then I'm going to go and hit the gym, or vice versa. Maybe I'll do whatever. But I'm still going to live my life. So don't do that. Anyway, get back. It's hard to beat Oppenheimer, but she was also good. I forget. Yeah, I did do an Oppenheimer stream. That was fun. Well, yeah, it's hard to beat the manifesting Oppenheimer. I prefer Telbenheimer. Am I reading that right, manifesting Mandrill? Because I'm going to fuck up the whole entire joke. Have you ever manifested in the My man, have you been using remote viewing to watch me and all of my glory sitting in the bathtub smoking a cigar? I'm 6 feet tall on a good day, 5'11 3/4 on a bad day. I weigh 220 pounds on a really horrible day, and I weigh 190 at the best peak performance of my life. Either of any of those scenarios, it's hard for me to fit in a bathtub. But God damn it, I tell you, everything is possible. And I sit in that bathtub and I smoke my cigars, and I sit there and I listen to classical music, and I write and I think of manifestations. So if you're remote viewing, please enjoy the view. That sounds like peak manifesting to me. My bad. What was the longest you were in no contact? Bob, the longest I was in no contact was 10 months. The longest I've heard was a client of mine who is in contact with his SP now. We had worked together for 5 months, but before that, prior to working with me, he had worked with other coaches and stuff for like 2 years. But now there's contact finally, and that story is impressive to me, and that is crazy. That's the longest I've heard, but I respect him, and he put in a lot of work, a lot of persistence, and the stuff he has elevated, he has made some crazy manifestations in the process. So by loving yourself, the stuff you get on the side, the byproduct is amazing. Pug Life, I saw that comment, and I don't know if that was a joke or not, because I didn't understand that when you commented on the video. I usually respond to all the comments. But what is a sibling square? How do you manifest out of the sibling square? I don't know what that is. Better not tell me that's something that I've said at one point, because then I'm gonna feel really ridiculous. There's a spider living in my ashtray somewhere, because every time I destroy these webs, there's more of them. We'll wait for Pug Life to respond to that, because I was actually wondering about that comment for a minute. But yeah, I did enjoy this. This was the good live. Gary had a great point about bringing on more guests. I think I'll do some more collabs with Gary. I have somebody else who I've worked with manifesting. He's actually having another bridge unfold now, and I've been talking about bringing him on for a while too. And I think that would be a good one. And then I'm going to look into that Amy Westmoreland that Josh said, and then I'm going to reach out to that Sean guy from Here Nor There that Sheila was talking to. So we got some good collabs coming up. I still need to reach back out to Tom Platts. I know that his wife had just beat cancer, and he was traveling, and he was going to be on a little podcast tour. So it was kind of hard to get a hold of him, but I do get his personal email, so I'm going to reach out to him and find out if we could get him on. But without further ado, I think we'll start wrapping it up here. I am going to try to do more lives. Sheila here is kind of bringing me out of my comfort zone by doing more lives. They're probably going to be on TikTok, because it's easier to like run and gun and go, and then just go on her channel as a guest. But at the same time, if I'm doing that, why can't I just throw this up, and then you guys see me talking to her? You won't see her face, but we could do that. And that will make me do more lives. In the Discord, I failed to do it last Thursday. This is another Thursday tomorrow, so I'm going to try to do it again. I paid for Nitro. If anyone knows anything about Discord, let me know. It should allow me to go live on there, but there seems to be some limits. But I wanted to make an exclusive live for the people on the Discord. But I failed you guys last week because I got tied up. I was actually doing a live with her last Thursday. That's how I got tied up and I got back to it. Like friend zone, but when someone sees you like a brother or a sister. Oh, I was like, I've never heard that before. That's when you start, like, every time you're together, you feel like, oh, there's that, you get like that tension and stuff. And I actually made a video. There's only one video on this too, I believe, which getting out of the friend zone, because SP did try to put me in that one time. And I said, I ain't standing for that shit. I just kept saying, I'm like, every time we hang out together, she can't resist. She wants to get closer to me. This and that. Like, she's very attracted to my body. She can't stop. She can't stay away from me. Our history is so strong that there's this tension building. The more we hang out, the closer we get. She can't resist me. And I kind of just put it in a thing where it's like I kept seeing her as the one who wanted me and like desired me that whole time. Because usually it's like we think we have to do something to get something from that person, or I have to look this way to be like this. No, I just kept saying everything was perfect, and using the feedback of I reach out, she says yes to hang out, and I assume we're going to hang out. I reach out, or she reaches out, and then we actually get the date or the hangout. And it's like, and I keep that as a feedback loop, more positivity because it actually happened. Okay, cool. It actually worked. Then boom, boom, boom. Just keep feeding back. Something actually happens in the 3D reality. That's more ammunition, confidence, and fuel that your affirmations and assumptions and beliefs are working. So now you have the 3D results and memories to go with your assumptions of the future. Those things are working together. Then another thing happens that builds even more confidence, and you just build this confidence loop. And I believe if you rewatch the video, I haven't rewatched it yet. I was going to make an edit of it the other day, but I do believe that it was no more than a month, 3 weeks, something like that I was in that zone. But we were hanging out all the time. So it's the same as the friend zone. A lot of people say it's worse. Well, what do you think? Do you think it's worse? If you assume it's worse, it is. I mean, there was before Lily, long time ago. This girl saw me as like her younger brother, and she's probably actually the same age as Lily now. I was like 18, 19. She was probably mid-30s. I have a trend there too, apparently. There was like that tension stuff, but at the time she was married, so I had my code of ethics, and damn me and these ethics, it was never going to happen on my end. And then despite the brother and friend and young guy type thing, there was a couple moments. It was there if I wanted it, and it's like my damn ethics prevented it from happening. And then by the time she was divorced, she was moved on to someone else, and then wouldn't even do that. And then I was just like, you know what, it's a sign, and I just never pursued it. But I know that there is a way out of it because I know there's a way out of everything. Any bad event you're in, you can get out of. But just don't choose to believe it's worse. If you believe it's worse, it's worse. If you believe it's harder, it's harder. If you believe something's easy, it's easy. I mean, friend is one thing. And then they're like, hey, sister. I mean, hey, you're giving me all the reasons why it's not going to work. I'm giving you all the reasons it's going to work. At the end of the day, who's going to take the truth of that? You're the one who chooses what's your truth. But yes, there's that. I don't know if it's just me or am I getting gray hair? God damn. There's a lot of gray hairs. You guys met me when I was but a young man. Someone manifest my hair black again and my hairline back. Otherwise, I got to get a bigger beard and shave my head. All right, I swear to God, if I manifest hair loss after that, you guys better laugh at that joke. Anyway, love you guys very much. This was a great stream. I appreciate it. We're going to try to go again tomorrow. If you guys want the Discord, you know where it's at. If you want coaching, you know where it's at. I mean, I'm not the most organized, but if you want it, you can find it. You want to contact me, it's Instagram flex_Lassiter or Gmail. But love you all. Hold on. How do you make an SPA really want bad, even if they didn't want you before? Bob, we'll talk more about that tomorrow. Tomorrow, the live stream. Let me see. You put me on the spot. I don't have a time. Same time today. Same bat channel, same bat place, right? We'll go right after I get off work because she's on New York time. I'm on Chicago time, so we'll stay 7 p.m. my time, Central Standard. Yeah. That gives me time to get home, take a nap, and eat. So, and then I'll go to the gym late. Don't say I didn't do anything for the Mystic Manifesting family. But love you guys very much, and I'll see you around.